All right, my friends, this is Dave Sharpe. Hey, I got my guest right here. What's going on, brother?
Hey, sir. Hello, hello. Good morning.
Good morning, man.
What a
Um,
ridiculousness. This is fun.
it is ridiculousness and it is fun. You are in Arizona, is that right?
I am not. My phone number is from Arizona. I grew up in Arizona. I moved out to California
Okay.
at 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for sharing with us the autism element of your life. It's really amazing to have such vulnerability. As you know, I've shared the addiction side of my life in the even yesterday. I think I went into a bit of the mild mental illness with some kind of low grade depression and a bit of mania, that might not pop up on the full blown scale of bipolar, but I can get a little manic sometimes. Just ask my wife. You know what I mean? Uh,
For
so,
sure.
um, so tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of what led you online, man, and how you're kind of, utilizing your creativity and in your skills and even your weirdness, just like I utilize my weirdness to have some fun and build a business here.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you can see it too well, but I'm in my bathroom, by the way. And
I can. I noticed the shower back there, but who knows? It could have been a Zoom screen. You never know nowadays,
yeah.
So,
No, and I think one of the things that I did this year and I learned is lean into stuff. You talk a lot about audience, and everybody's got an audience, and I think that's a huge realization. Is I'm a little kooky, I'm fun, and I do things in a different way, and lean into it. Stop trying to be what everyone else is. I think you guys talk a lot about not comparing yourself to the top, right? Not seeing that great person out there and saying, "Gosh, I'm not that. I'm not that talkative, or I'm not that attractive, or all these things." I'm filming from my bathroom. I don't care. Start looking at the bottom people. To be honest, and I mean, I don't want to insult anybody, but there's a lot of people out there that aren't that great, and they've got 20,000 followers, and if you look at that, it's a lot easier to put yourself up there and just be like, I think I'm better than that guy. I could do that. And
yeah.
so that's a lot of it is leaning in and saying, this is what I am. And there are people out there that'll buy into it and that'll listen to me and things like that, and realizing that if they're not necessarily around you right now, they are out there. And I don't know. Hopefully that makes sense. But
Yeah, yeah, it did. And I also want to say that one thing that I talked about, it was on a coaching call yesterday. Um, I talked about like how people, if you try to hide all of your imperfections and present as this perfect person, people naturally don't celebrate or feel connected to you. They don't celebrate for you or feel connected to you. As a matter of fact, that's why it's so common in online business and entrepreneurship that a lot of people say, "Yeah, my friends and family didn't support me." Well, it's because naturally humans, when somebody else is doing something, pursuing goals, whatever, it makes them think about their own life, and if they're pursuing their goals, and if they're not, maybe they might be a little bit jealous or not feel as connected. Whereas if you reveal your imperfections, which we all have, whether it be your past or some of your current struggles, or whether it be mental illness, one of the biggest topics that I think has brought people together, especially throughout the last couple of years, is talking more about mental illness. It's talking more about the things that have always kind of we've hid in the closets and we've swept under the rug, because for whatever reason, society has told us that those things are things we should be ashamed of, right? Like we're the only ones that have them, right? And as people have talked more about those things, it's brought people, it's brought them together, and it's actually, I've seen marketers who have become more vulnerable and shared who they are, and in both their strengths, but also their imperfections. And it has massively grown their connection with their audience and made more people follow them and want to support them because they're relatable. So I think, does that make sense? What's coming up for you as I'm
saying? I've found this really odd thing that I really, that I've come into, and I'm sure, I think you're touching on it quite a bit, is, you go out, you put yourself out there, right? So much of this isn't, the dynamics and the mechanics. So much of this is just getting to that level where you're comfortable to put yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking on a live show right now in front of a bunch of people, and I didn't have the confidence to do that a year ago, right? To make my first video took a lot. But I digress. What you're saying, it's so weird because the support isn't in the small circle that is around you right now. Your close friends and your close family. The support is not there. They see you in a different light. They see the person that was always there, and they're gonna assume that you're not gonna be able to accomplish extra stuff. I don't know. I really don't get it. But the second that you leave that circle and you put yourself out there to strangers, right? To TikTok and YouTube and this right here, those people that don't know you, that didn't know you originally, that see you in this new light, they're just so much more apt to support you. It's freaking weird.
And do business with you and give you money and buy from you, take your recommendations. I mean, it's kind of like the old story that I think is so funny and true is that, like, somebody close to your, maybe a child or a spouse, you could say something, share a little nugget of wisdom with them for years, and it's like they never hear it. And then the same nugget of wisdom is shared by some homeless person. One day they come home, they're like, "You're not going to believe what I learned today." And it's kind of like, wow, I've been saying that for years, but it coming, I think that I think you make a wonderful and really powerful point, if everybody can hear this. And I just want to say it in a different way, is that it's scary to put yourself out there. It's scary to begin to build your personal brand, but your most supportive people, your new best friends, your biggest cheerleaders, and those who are actually going to contribute to your bank account. It's kind of like you can't borrow $100 from your brother, but strangers will buy from you and help you to build your personal financial freedom. And it's man, you make a phenomenal point with that, man.
Yeah, it's so odd, and just finding out those things, and it's been a crazy journey. And I think, and again, dynamics, mechanics, it really is just getting your mind straight, because there are a bunch of ways to make money online, and once you set your mind there, they all open up. It's not like the one that you're looking for. It's not that one get rich quick scheme and that's the golden ticket and all the other ones are garbage and whatever. It really is just like, open your brain, get into this mentality of like, have money to make money, or use money to make money for yourself, and be able to put yourself out there. And once you're there, I don't know, it's just so many things. Like, I think just to kind of go back and take a step back and kind of talk about my last year. I got fired twice last year. And, the first time I got fired, I got fired from my career job in May because of COVID, and the first thing I did was look for another job, anything, right? Stocking shelves, bartending, whatever. That was my go-to. That was like panic in my head. What do I need to do? Get a freaking job, anything, whatever. So started calling around. A friend knew the general manager at Costco. And, if, as you recall, probably, as shit was hitting the fan, all the businesses were declining, but Costco and grocery stores were going up. So they needed right? So
Right.
it was like, okay, cool, hop in there. My friend knew the general manager, so made a couple calls, got in there for stocking shelves for $15 an hour, stocking shelves, but that was it. Um, that was where life led me. That's get a freaking job, put some money on the table, do something now.
Yeah.
So that happened. Got the job there, as a favor. They called in as a favor for me. I'm 43 years old, gray hair. I was the only one under 30 that got hired. So it really was, I got called. It was a favor, They
Oh,
did that for me.
the only one that was over 30. You're saying everybody else was under 30?
Oh yeah, sorry if I didn't say that right. Yeah, yeah.
No worries.
And they were mostly like 22 and 23.
Yeah.
But that
Here you
went
are like
there.
here you are like grandpa around all these teenagers, right?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Like I got looked at funny. It's all good. No. Pushing the carts out in the parking lot, people are like, "Oh, you're working hard." I'm like, "Okay, buddy."
Right.
Just say that to anybody else.
Away,
But,
right? Just stay 6 feet away.
No, so that was that's where my brain went, right? And that's where everybody's brain goes, is when you get fired, you go find another job. And one of the weird things that I noticed, recently is when I was looking for a job, you hop on the job websites or whatever, and you scroll through, and there's a certain number of them that you automatically pass, right? It's the sales, or the cold calling ones, or the blah blah blah, and you pass those and you look for the ones that are for you, Costco and blah blah blah. And it's odd. I finally realized recently, it's like, no, those are jobs. The ones that they're sales, and you have to put yourself out there. And there's probably some crappy ones, but those things that I've always scrolled past my entire life when looking for jobs, those are jobs. I've always dismissed them, but I'm not saying it too coherently, but it's weird to just open your mind and be like, those are actual things,
Yeah.
And it took, and I'm kind of skipping around my story, but my Costco tenure ended in June, so it was like a 3-month contract or whatever. And at that point, I got let go from Costco, and there was nothing. That was, if you can't keep a job stocking shelves, frick, bro, like there ain't much left. And so it took that mentality of there's nothing here. What's here? Like I'm digging through the garbage, right? Job, did I lose? That's what
Your internet's just going a little wonky right now. That's why
you have to decide that.
I don't know if that's just me, but your internet just went like, it was wonderful, and now all of a sudden it's just going all over the place.
I saw a couple, but I was back now.
Looks like you're
back.
coming back. You're coming back into focus right now. Okay, now you're. Yes, you're. I can kind of
here.
Yeah. Wait, am I here? Am I here?
Hello, everyone. Good to see you all again.
I'm actually back. I'm back in my. Yes, you went very wonky there for a second. You were like, the internet like kind of had you frozen. Those weird like face, Anyways, so I kind of lost you where it was like basically, I kind of like if there was nothing. That's kind of basically where I lost you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I lost my train of thought anyway, but no.
Well,
so
I would assume you were probably going towards the fact of how the hell you came online, right? I mean, like,
yeah, it literally was just, there's nothing left. Like, so after after I went to Costco and my 3 months ended at Costco, that was it. You know, if you can't have a job stocking shelves at Costco, if you can't keep that, you're done. You know, there's nothing else. So like, so you have to start going back through all that stuff that you've always turned down and you've always just automatically scrolled past, and really, honestly, really not turned down. Like, it wasn't conscious decisions to be like, okay, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to cold call people. I'm not going to go door to door. It was just an automatic of, these are the ads kind of mentality, right? It would just boom, boom, boom. No. And mentality, but it took that situation of there's nothing here. There's, you know, the economy's shot. I have to look for something. So I started digging through those, and I started just digging online of, you know, like, I don't need to make $1,000 a day. Can I make $50 a day? Can I make $20 a day? Like, where are those videos? Check those out. I don't need Lamborghinis and stuff like that. You know? Like, where's the $5? Where's the $5 a day video?
Right. And I think a lot of us, and that's the whole thing. I think that's really a key thing is that, you know, everybody's like, well, how can I talk about such and such if I don't have any results? And it's like, well, just make $5, talk about that, because most people don't believe your $1,000 a day story anyways.
That was the hook for me, honestly. That was the one hook. I think it was Thomas Garrett's, and his video said $50 to $80 a day, and I was like, that's believable. Okay, cool. So,
right.
I'll get that one. Not $1,000 a day, and then I'm just scrolling past that. I don't know what that is. So no, that was the hook for me. But anyway. Whew. No, and it's leaning into all these things that you never really thought of before. You never really put yourself out there before. You never really tried before, and I'm lucky because I got forced into it. You know, I wouldn't have had 2020 not happened. I wouldn't be here. You know, I would just be at my old job chilling. So it's good. It's good that it happened. It's good that I'm a new person, and it I'm scrolling around a little bit, but
I wanted to jump in and just say that, like, for me too, it was a good thing that my dad and I, when I was working construction back in 2008-9, that my dad and I were basically so sick of looking at each other. You know what I mean? And I am the worst manual labor worker in the world. You know, my dad's like this world-class craftsman, like seriously, like he's really good, and he can work on anything. He can work on houses, cars, and I'm not just talking about break stuff. I'm talking about build stuff and break it down, build it back up, the whole nine. And he works his ass off, and he's got like alligator skin. And I mean, it's just me. I get a little bit of sun, I get skin cancer. You know what I mean? Just the weirdest. It's just, we're different like that. You know, he's just been doing it all his life, and I guess he never had another option or whatever. But I kind of got it. You know, I got a taste of this kind of like entrepreneur thing back from my first experience in network marketing, right? And I started like listening to like all these like, you know, people who are like, you know, fire your boss, and, you know, you're trading time for money. I started listening to that stuff back like when I was in drug treatment in 2005. You know what I mean? And like right when I got out of that, I got into this company called Market America, and like you get into some of these big network marketing MLMs, and like there's some really prolific speakers and just people who will introduce you to ways of thinking that like are just totally different, kind of like we do, but those guys are next level, you know. And in 2008 and 9, like when I got started here online, I mean, the only reason I came online was because, first and foremost, like I got prospected into a network marketing company, and I was so broke and tired of working construction with my dad that I literally took every dime I had and joined the company. The company literally shut down in 3 months. Like, it went out of business. But I was like, that pushed me online, because I was like, what next? What now? What are we going to do now to get rich? Because that just shut down, So I literally went, and I'd be sitting on my dad's computer that was like one of those big boxes, like kind of like, it was like 100 pounds. You'd walk around with it and kind of move it around. You'd have to hug it like a bear. And the thing was so slow. Like, it had like 1,000 viruses. Don't ask me why, who knows what was being done on that computer. But man, it was like I would sit there and just wait for pages to load for like, minutes, in like videos, I'd come to somebody's landing page, because I was opting into 1,000 different lists, you know what I mean? Getting on people's, I went from like having no email account ever to being subscribed to like 1,000 lists within a week. And, I'm getting all these emails, and I'm trying to watch videos, and they're not loading, and I'm just sitting there waiting. And, it was just, it was kind of like that same thing of just being forced into it. And I almost feel like, that's a gift in a sense. It was a gift for me to not have a real cush job that I really, could have stayed at or whatever, because who knows, I might've stayed at that too. Like, if it was just a chill job that I just kind of enjoyed, or I didn't particularly hate, or was paying the bills, or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, that's why I don't like get too preachy about like what you got to do to be an entrepreneur. You got to hustle. You got to work 18 hours a day. Like, I think Gary V and all his hustle porn is cool. And all these guys who are like, work, sacrifice in your 20s. And it, like, I think that's all cool to like, whatever. But the truth of the matter is that there's a lot of happenstance and luck for me too. And I think if any of you guys listening end up being successful, it's just like, it's just a gift, and you gotta keep working to keep it. And, it's nothing's handed to you. And sometimes if you have that cush job, or you have something that's keeping you comfortable, maybe you might need to go the extra mile to make yourself uncomfortable. You need to, I don't know, like, there's different ways that we can hold ourselves accountable. Like, I don't have the answers to everything. It's just kind of like, I guess, luck is, at least this is what I heard my uncle say the other day, is when opportunity and preparation meets, each other. And I wasn't prepared really. Like, I didn't have any skills or anything, but I think I just had like the hunger, back in 2009 when I started, similar to what you had. You had the hunger to basically just put food on the table, and that kind of preparation met that opportunity. You came online, you saw Thomas Garrett's video, how to make $5 a day, whatever. And it was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Like, I'm willing to basically try anything because I'm uncomfortable enough. And you run with it, right? And now you're making videos in your bathroom, and I want to make sure that we talk about that, because like obviously you've gotten started marketing. I put your TikTok channel up there. You do have 20,000 followers on your TikTok. And while all these guys, these bro marketers are out here being badass mega douchebags, in front of their Lambos and rented mansions and stuff, which really is a turnoff to most people, by the way. A lot of you guys think
it's overplayed.
Yeah, a lot of you guys think that you need that kind of stuff. I mean, I got some cool cars or whatever, but honestly, nobody even gives a shit about them. You know what I mean? Like, I don't pose in front of them and try to be cool, because honestly, I'm so much of a dad now. I probably could. Mostly all of my cool factor is gone, anyways. I mean, the gray's here for me too. I'm way. There's no coming back. I'm dad bod, dad jokes, dad flex. I'm dad life. I'm the guy now who goes out. Like, the other day I peeped out the window and saw my neighbor checking his sprinkler system. So I was like, I went out into the garage, and I took her for a test run, spin 2 minutes on each zone, you know what I mean? Just to make sure everything was working properly, just to dad flex, in the hood, just take her for a spin, let them know, hey, I'm on top of my game over here too. Don't worry, we're good, we're in the game. But and also I'm the funniest guy that I know, that's the other thing that's kind of, you have to be able to laugh at your dad jokes, but you have taken this sort of kind of weird, like it's almost a state break, right? By doing stuff in your bathroom. I think it's the coolest thing because it sends a message that I'm different and you can do this from your bathroom. Tell us how the hell you came up with that.
Again, out of necessity, but it's
so you had to, right? There was like what that was the only quiet room in the house.
It's the only quiet because we got COVID. Obviously, everybody does. So the kids are in the house doing Zoom school. So there's not a lot of space, and I did a few videos, kind of in the corner with the computer propped up on a table, so I could get, a back wall that was clear, so I'm in the middle, like, I think I did one from my daughter's room, to get like a clear wall, and there's just not a lot of clear walls. And I'm like, and I'm not going to set the freaking computer up every time, so I'm like, screw it. So there's this nice little spot in the middle of the bathroom. It's quiet in here. And I'm just, it's so much of this journey is lean in, right? Yeah. And I think that's been one of my bigger mottos is just, you are you have an audience, be real, and don't fake anything, and show, don't show the Lambos, show the bathroom, that's where we're at. And just show like, hey, I can do, and one of the things I say is, you can do this from anywhere, your bathroom. So it's just having that mentality of, I don't care, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what it takes. If I'm stuck in my bathroom, I don't give a shit. Like it's, I've got a laptop here. It's fine. I'm good. Let's go. So I think that's just the mentality of it. And I have fun with it. I used the shower for a whiteboard at one point in a video. And it didn't look too good. So I only did one, but, that's what it is. I just lean into what you are, guys. Like, don't do the Lambo. Don't try to say things that you don't know. Teach what you know. Don't teach what you don't know. Don't say things that aren't true. Don't be who you're not. And do working. You'll have an audience. You really doesn't like to say, be like, I'm going to film TikTok videos from my bathroom and 20,000 people are going to follow me. What the frick? Okay.
Right.
Like, but it happens, it is a thing.
James Little says, I remember the shower whiteboard, LOL.
Thanks, James.
Wade Wu says, what is he sitting on? Don't worry about what he's sitting on. Let your imagination run wild. Don't worry about what he's sitting on.
Just watch the videos, buddy. Go join my TikTok. You'll find out. No, it's just a chair. It's just a chair. No. And that's another thing is I've got new friends. James is one of them, and I've got 3 or 4 other folks on TikTok, and these people that are just doing the same thing that I'm doing and in the same way, and putting yourselves out there. Some older 40, 50-year-old folks just on TikTok having a blast. And
Nikki and Dave said best thoughts are in the shower.
There you go. I'll hop in the shower for a minute now.
I think a lot of people do have like good, for me, honestly, man, like the shower, because I have 2 kids, for my wife and I, the bathroom is actually like a bit of a vacation. You know what I mean? like with 2 kids at home, like sometimes you're like, I gotta go poop, right? And then you go in there and you just hide for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? Like,
I wish, but they interrupt us. But I'm glad your kids are respectful.
Well, you got to have locks on the doors, bro.
That's a good point.
You know, or deadbolts. I mean, it's time to go back to Costco. Right, exactly. It's time to go back to Costco or Home Depot and get some damn deadbolts.
Yeah, no, I feel you.
As your kids get older, you got to bring out the old castle like wood. You put the 2x4 on the thing so they just can't break the door down, and you just hide in there,
No, I'll have to do that. It's been fun. The little one actually hops on the freaking lives with me. So yeah, I have to lock that door. Yeah, that's a bit ridiculous. They're into it. They're liking the TikToks quite a bit.
Yeah, my daughter really likes when she sees me recording videos. Like she likes to just run up and get in the video. And the old me would have stopped and been like, oh, leave daddy alone or right. Like I'm talking about like years ago, like when I first started, like when I was a lot younger, I would have thought, oh, that's embarrassing or something, or, oh, I gotta do that over or whatever. And now, like if she runs up in it, like, first of all, I'm too tired to record it again. You know what I mean? Like I'm just like, it doesn't matter if I'm recording a video or something and I hawk a loogie up, or I gag on a hairball, or I trip up on my words. I'm just too tired to record it again. So I just keep going, I lean into that. And then in the same way, if my daughter runs up, if I'm at home recording videos and she runs up and she's like, hi, I'm just like, I just kind of like try to like walk away, kind of like Homer Simpson and that meme, he backs into the bushes. I just kind of, try to keep walking away like, hey, hi, honey, and just keep recording the video. And you know what it does? It kind of lets people know, I think, hey, this guy is like living a real life. You know what I mean? Like this is just real stuff and they can relate to that.
I think that's a huge point. The whole, and again, the lean in, right? Like you said, but yeah. And just, again, lean in, audience, have those moments. Like, again, like, yeah, I don't care. I stumble over my words all the time. And I'll just like kind of like laugh and then repeat the word, and it is what it is. And I leave those in. It really, number one, it's, you don't want to spend freaking all day editing your videos, but number two, like that's it. That's you, right? I don't know. It's the more authentic you can be, the more audience, the more people you're going to attract. And so it's just freaking, like I said earlier, stop trying to be the guy at the top. Stop looking at people and saying, well, that guy's more attractive than me. That guy's more outgoing than me. I can't do that. One of the huge things I realized at my old job, I was a purchasing manager. So sales reps would actually come in and talk to me all the time, like from all these different companies trying to sell me stuff for me to buy for the warehouse, right? And they're not all, flashy suits, talking, having things to say constantly and things like that. There was a handful of them that came in, walked up to me and kind of said, hey, how's it going? Do you want to buy this? Okay, bye. Right? And like, I can do that. Like, I'm better than that, at least. Right? So, like, and he has a job and he's making money and he's been coming back in here once a month for like a year. So he's keeping his job. Right. So, don't stop looking at the people at the top. Start looking at the people at the bottom and just be like, I can sell better than that guy. So screw it. Right? I don't know. That's kind of, I've been just trying to flip my perspective and find those ways to tell yourself, you can do it instead of you can't, right? If these people that aren't that great can do it, you can do it. Stop looking at, you don't have to have 1 million followers. You can make decent money with 20,000 followers, right? You don't have to be that guy. The weatherman in Delaware, right, on the local news, he, probably 1 million or 2 people watch him every day, and he's got a bunch of money and he's a celebrity in that little town, but you've never heard of him. And it doesn't, there's so many stories like that. That's what and I'm not saying don't aim for the stars, but you can aim for something a lot lower and make a lot more money and be cool. And you don't have to be so flashy. You don't have to think that that's where you need to be. You can be so many other places and be successful.
Well, your little phrase of lean in, which is a phrase that a therapist that I work with uses, and he uses this quite a bit, about leaning into uncomfortable feelings and leaning into uncomfortable conversations and leaning into, just like you say, just your authentic self, all your flaws and stuff. And I like how I can tell that you've kind of taken that term and made it sort of like a life mantra or kind of mission statement for your life and your business right now through this chapter of your life. Lean in, lean in, lean into the uncomfortability, lean into the who I am, leaning. And I just wanted to tell you that I love that. I love it because I can tell that it's really helpful. I just wanted to validate you for coming up with something so empowering that works for you. I can remember that when I was going through a tough time in my marriage a long time ago, my wife and I separated and I was living on my own and I didn't know how to take care of myself. And I had this mantra that I said that was self-care, self-care, self-care. And I just walked around the house all day and I just repeated that. That was just something that I said to myself almost all the time, right? I'd be like, self-care, self-care. Okay, what's the next thing that I should do to take care of myself? Wait, cook myself dinner or order some food or, right, go to sleep, go to bed now, Dave. It's actually time to go to bed. You should go to bed now. In those little mantras that you come up for with your life, we can all do them in whatever is appropriate. We all know what kind of we need to like work on or focus on. And sometimes we can borrow a mantra from somebody else. But I just think those little simple mantras that can become like the life's mission for that little season of our life, that are just simple, that we can say all the time, that sort of become a theme like for what we do, I think are so powerful. I just wondered if you could say more about that, how you came up with it, and just how you've said it so many times, but just say more about that if you
Sure.
would. I'm just interested in it.
Sure. Yeah. It's about, it's just about, overcoming those fears, overcoming those things that, those little hiccups and those little things that pop up in your head. It's like, I can't do it because of that, and I can't do it because of that, and it's not going to be perfect because of this, and it's not, and it's not going to. I'm going to have to film from my bathroom. Crap. And it's all those things. And if you just say lean in, just like, well, that's what it is. Well, I'm going to have to film from my bathroom. Well, that's what it is. Okay, lean into it. That's your life. That's your position. You're okay with it. You have just be okay with it. It's fine. Like, lean into it. Use it. Right? Don't, when I say lean in, it's I'm saying accept it and don't hide it, and use it. And I guess the most important, use it. Don't go the other direction. Don't cover it up. Don't pretend it doesn't exist. Don't, when it comes up in the conversation, don't dance around it and avoid it. Lean into those things. That's who you are. That's what you are. That's fine. All of those things are freaking fine. I don't care. Don't stop freaking caring. Just let it go. Lean into it. Accept it. That's who you are. Be that. It's okay. I'm a gray-haired dude filming from my bathroom. Everybody else on there is 22 years old. It's fine. I don't give a shit. It is what it is. And I'm gonna have fun with it. So
yeah,
that's what it is.
One last question that I have, and this has just been so powerful. I really, really appreciate all your experience and your thoughts and sharing with us today. But I wondered if you would talk to people who do have various, whether disability is that some people do have disabilities or mental illnesses, or I do. I have various different things that I struggle and battle with on a regular basis. I've already mentioned them: addiction and some mental illness, mild depression, and some mania. But would you speak to people who feel that their characteristics in these whether they're dealing with a mental illness, disability, or just something that maybe society has told them, or maybe does make it more difficult for them to be able to focus or operate or feel esteemable or whatever, or makes it difficult to get up off the couch or out of bed, or all these different illnesses and so forth, and disabilities affect us differently, but would you speak to people who are dealing with those type of things in their life and are still wanting to pursue goals and dreams and build a business?
Yeah, yeah. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie. You're in over your head compared to other folks, and it's just, that's the life that we have, and we've come to accept it a while ago. But your mental disabilities, depression, things like that. Yeah, they're so debilitating. Gosh, sorry, I'm getting into myself a little bit. Gosh, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to give hope. I don't know where I got the strength to pick myself up so many times last year. I just kept doing it. It was rough, and I saw the light at the end of the tunnel, and man, I keep going. It is there, guys, and I think I might be more depressing going into it, but man, it's there, and when you get there, it's brilliant. There are so many folks out there. I know I touched on it earlier, but there are so many folks out there just waiting to be inspired by you, and just waiting to hear your story, and sitting out there looking for some hope, and they don't know where to find it, and you can be that. And it's so odd for me to say that I brought people hope when I had no hope myself. It's such an odd freaking thing, but I assure you, I promise you, that is there. Put yourself out there. And there are people, even though the people right next to you, your close friends and your close family, even though they're not necessarily supporting you right now, and they might think that the things you're doing are dumb or ridiculous or a waste of time, just put yourself out there. And those people that are that next level, those strangers and those folks that are out there looking and waiting for hope, they're gonna jump on your bandwagon, and they're gonna love you and support you and push you out there, because they see what you're doing. They see that you've put yourself out there to that next level, and they're going to support that. The people around you that are close, they don't see that you've changed, so they don't make that connection. But just put yourself out there. It was so effing weird. I made a video about getting let go from Costco, and I think it got like damn near 100,000 views. And I think everybody that watched it commented on the damn thing, because there's like hundreds of comments. And it was weird, and I've seen other people make videos like that all the time, but still didn't think I could do it for me. But, it was weird to just put myself out there and say, this is me. This is what I've gone through. These are my struggles. And, this is where I'm going. And this is what I hope to achieve. And if you want to come with me, come with me. And the response was crazy, and it was to see all those people, all those strangers support you, is freaking mind blowing. It really is. But they're looking for the same thing that you're looking for, and they just want someone to help them and give them a message and teach them those things, and you can be that person. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. It's I don't know. You can do it.
Bro, I'm loving this, and I can tell that so many people are getting so much out of this. I hope that you never go looking for, unless you absolutely have to, of course, go looking for job ads again, and go and find another job, and stop sharing your message from your bathroom. And if you one day move into a bigger house or a different house or somewhere, I hope you'll continue to shoot from your bathroom, because it's funny, it's cool, and your message is cool, man. I mean, like, seriously, your message is really cool, and your courage and your vulnerability and your honesty is really something special, man. And so I'm really, really, as much as it sucked, glad you got fired from Costco. You know what I mean? Back in 2020, and found the Thomas Garrett's video, and yeah, just, I hope you'll keep coming back if we ask you, and sharing your experience and your wisdom with us, brother, because it's been a pleasure.
Thank you. You as well, sir. I appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Well, listen, be well, Kyle. Stay legendary, my brother, and we'll talk to you soon, okay?
Cool. Later, guys. Take it easy.
See you, buddy. All right, my friends. Wow, what a dude. What a dude. Go and follow Kyle. We've got his handle up there on the screen. Show him some love. Shoot him a message. You know, all of you guys have been real kind and honest, I can tell in the comments, with all the positive feedback. And it's so true, you know. I thank Kyle for sharing the autistic piece with us, so we could share that with you. And it just, you know, it's always like, who's going to go first when you're in a group of people? It's like, who's going to share something first, right? And then all it takes is one person sharing their honest truth and being vulnerable, and it's like a domino effect. It not only unlocks other people to be willing to share vulnerabilities and truths about themselves, but it just deepens the connection with the group and the community when that happens. And I've been able to be that first person to share, and I've also been the person who was afraid to share, and somebody else shared something vulnerable, and then I felt courageous enough to share. So yeah, it was a cool conversation today, and worth a re-listen for those of you who didn't catch the whole thing, because of the power of leaning in, as Kyle said, leaning in to what you think are your flaws and imperfections and things that you should hide are really your biggest strengths. You can turn those, quote, struggles into strengths, and it'll deepen your connection with people, and it'll deepen your influence with people, because they'll trust you more. All right. So we'll be back here tomorrow, guys, for another episode of Legendary or Wake Up Legendary. My name's Dave Sharpe, if you don't know me, and I'm your host 4 out of 5 days. Matt will be with you guys tomorrow, and we'll keep on rocking. We'll keep on doing this every day. We'll keep on being there for the new person who comes into our community looking to start a business. That's why we're here every day. It's not particularly for you old farts who have been around here for a couple of months or years. It's really to be there for that new person, so they can hear a story like Kyle and say, I think I can do this, right? And if that's you and you're listening today, yes, you can. Peace.